Hurst, and this is the Student Kitchen as part of the Student Takeover. This week I'm going to be putting across one of my own original recipes which I made up about 2 days ago when we were deciding what we were going to do today. What we're going to be doing is Italian steak sandwiches. So a little bit of olive oil in the pan. You don't want to put too much in, just that's about enough. And you want to put in probably, well, all of it, or certainly this is half an onion's worth. Just stick that in there, and all of the garlic. All of the garlic and all of the onions, and this is a whole red pepper that I've chopped up in here. You don't have to use red, but I think it's more aesthetically pleasing, if you understand. All the garlic, all the onions, and basically this is just going to saute very, very briefly. We're not going to do too much with it, but half of it in there. Right. Once that starts simmering, you just want to give it a good stir. And basically, you just want to let it brown. Just let it all go brown, so that you know it's cooking, not fully cooked, because the cooking process doesn't end here for the vegetables. And essentially, what we're going to do is, because when this sautés, all the juices from the onions, the garlic and the peppers are all going to seep into the oil and they'll be retained in the pan. Don't get rid of your juices, because what we're going to do later, next, put that beef in there and let those juices seep into the meat and flavour it, and it will taste delicioso. These are ready to come out now. There's been about 2 or 3 minutes, if that. You just want to scoop it all out. Will sizzle, of course. Always use a slotted spatula or a fish slice so that you don't take any of the juice away. That's kind of important, really. Put that in a bowl. The cooking process doesn't end there for it, because we're going to grill it later. Not for very long, mind you. Right. Casserole beef. Never try to put it in all at once, because you'll end up burning some of it, and do it in batches. This comes pre-diced, but sometimes you will, depends where you shop really. Some casserole steak won't be cut up, so you'll have to go through it and cut it into this sort of size cube. And just let it sit in there. Do it in batches. Literally just sear it until it's brown all over. Don't try to do it to how you like your steak done. Do it sort of one level down. Take that and essentially we'll put it in another bowl. You don't necessarily have to put it in another bowl if you don't wish to, but as I say, these pack of 4, these ciabatta rolls, £1 for 4. So that's pretty good value actually. You want to slice them completely in half, really. The Italians always have it with some form of oil: truffle oil, chili oil, olive oil, garlic oil. Of course, we are going to have it with our steak. We're not going to bother buttering it, because you just don't do that to Italian bread. That's just not what happens. That's not how it works. Right. The rest of this dish really is about presentation. So you've got your vegetables at first. You want to just spoon a little bit of that pepper, onion, garlic mixture on the bottom. Make sure you've got a lot of that, and then that looks nice and colourful. And then spoon your steak over the top. which make sure you get quite a bit, you know, you don't want to be stingy with this steak, it costs you enough. Put them on the baking tray, or the roasting dish, whatever, because they're just going to go under the grill for 5 to 10 minutes just to let those brown nicely. Just stick it in, well, as I say, the oven or the grill, whichever, doesn't really matter. And, yeah, 10 to 15 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes under the grill. Right, so that's been grilling for 5 minutes, and I've looked already and seen that it's nicely toasted around the sides there, which is lovely to see, actually. Right, don't turn that off yet because you're going to be putting it back in again just for a few minutes. Two or 3 minutes, because the next part of the dish includes this mozzarella cheese. If you buy it fresh like I have here in the bag, open it over the sink because there's liquid in it. So you want to slice it like vertically as opposed to horizontally for the circular shape. And just slice it evenly. Yeah, I reckon we'd probably be able to get 2. Maybe not. Someone might have to be unlucky and only have 1 slice, but there we are. Let's put some of the mozzarella on there. Just line it up like that. The unlucky one. And there you are. Right, and that basically just wants to go back in there for 2 or 3 minutes just to let that mozzarella melt onto the steak and onto the vegetables underneath it. Okay, so 2 or 3 more minutes in under the grill. Just because the grill door has to be open to ventilate, of course, you can keep an eye on it, which is an advantage to this dish. So put that back in, 2 or 3 more minutes, and make sure also make sure the ciabatta doesn't burn. You won't let the ciabatta burn at the sides. Been keeping an eye on this now, you see, and there you are. Nicely just melted over it. Right, we are done with the oven. Hurrah. Because all you want to do now is, with your pesto, just give it a stir and just spoon it over the top, because this will seep into the lid of your sandwich with the other, which we haven't done anything with. If you've wondered why I cut them off. And that will flavour the bread from the other side. Well, in that case, ready to plate up. It's probably when they're the square ones, it's probably pointless trying to slice them in half again. But essentially, what you want to do is just put that on a plate. And if you want to be fancy and restauranty, just take a couple of your raw peppers, because you can eat pepper raw, and just line them up like that, and there you have it. That's an Italian steak sandwich. Well, I've been Dale Hurst. This has been the Student Kitchen. I've made Italian steak sandwiches. The recipe is in the description below, and will be posted on my website in due course. Well, there we are. See you next week. Ta-ra.
You're going to be a student, so you'll be needing these.
Ah, well that's dinner sorted.
Oh look, Dad's in the student kitchen. I wonder what he's up to.